Well, it's probably time we get this thing started. Hey, look at some people in the chat. Hello, chat. Finally, Friday is being brought to you this week by Major Spoilers, VIP and Patreon members from around the world. Hey, if you can spare a buck or two or three or heck, a buck a week, you could help us out by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Hey guys, this show is for you. Happy Friday, everyone. Oh my goodness, look at all the people that are in the chat. Malone is there, and Marshall is there. And who else is there? I think Kevin is there. Who else? Who is this? Mars Hall. Oh, Marshall Nesbitt. Time to get that old prescription adjusted a little bit. We've been away for a couple of weeks. And I don't even remember what the last time we had a conversation was. Last week we weren't around because of internet issues. The week before we had Ashley here. So maybe we've only been gone for a week, I guess. But it still seems like I haven't seen and talked with you guys for a long, long time, especially here at Finally Friday. And I will say that we have entered the soccer season for the fall, and so things are going to get a little wishy-washy as far as schedules for the next couple of weeks, at least when it comes to Finally Friday, and especially when it comes to our Saturday live streams. This will be, regardless of what happens in the spring with my son getting on a soccer team at school, this will be the last time that we do traveling soccer, because in the spring he should be on the middle school soccer team, so he won't need to do soccer in the fall. So that will make things a lot easier, and certainly because of no traveling soccer in the spring, that's going to make life a lot easier as well. However, some of you may remember I've got a younger kid, even younger than the oldest one, and the oldest one is even pretty young still. Yes, figure that one out yourself. Mars Hole. Yeah, that's what we're going to start calling you now, Marshall. Sorry, I was just like, what is this? That's okay. Who was the other one that was coming around and we gave him a new name too? I forgot who that was as well. But my youngest, many of you know, is doing karate. And I was told on Tuesday night, oh, hey, there's a karate tournament on Saturday out of town. Will you be able to take him at the last minute? We won't know for sure until Thursday night. So last night I was kind of biting my nails going, oh my God, am I going to be up until like 5 in the morning editing shows so that they're ready to go on Friday and Saturday afternoons? Am I going to have to like bust my butt to go out of town the minute that this show is over? And then do karate on Saturday morning. So we're still going to have karate tournaments, but they are few and far between. Unfortunately, the coach, the teacher, I don't know what they call them, senseis, karate masters at the dojo, Mr. Papadopoulos, yeah, said that there were only 2 kids that were interested in going to the tournament. And because there were only 2 kids interested, he was not going to go as a team. If people wanted to go by themselves, they could. And we had decided that it's probably best to go with your coach, your teacher, your sensei, your master, whatever they call him. I wish the great Nate O was in the chat, because he would know what you call him. So I dodged a bullet there. But my goodness, there's still a lot of things to do with kids. And I asked my son, I was like, hey boy, not the boy, the sidekick, if he was still interested in going to the karate tournament. And he said no, he wasn't interested. And, oh, is Nate in there? Hey, the great Nate O. We speak his name and he enters. Nate, what do you call your karate teacher? Teacher, sensei, coach? What's the name that you give your karate guy that teaches you how to karate stuff? Because Nate's like a karate. He's like, what are you, a 3rd degree black belt now? third degree black belt, I believe, is what Nate is. Nate dodged a bullet this week. Nate did not have to deal with hurricanes, or at least I hope he didn't have any damage from hurricanes. Is there a big delay today? Wow. Usually we don't have a big delay between what's going on in the chat and what I'm talking about, but there, just like that, Nate appears. Nate will catch up with us in a moment. But this idea that he didn't want to do it if his coach was there had me thinking of some things that are happening even with older kids, college-age kids. I'm teaching a video production class again this semester. And I gave him an assignment to write a script, just a really quick PSA, public service announcement. Nothing really hard, nothing really difficult. And I got to class on Tuesday, and I kind of knew what was going to happen, because this happens every time when you have kids who are relative strangers to one another, where you go in and say, okay, who would like to share their PSA? Who would like to share with the rest of the class, or with the rest of the group, or the rest of your peers, or with the rest of the world, the internet, whatever it may be? Who wants to be first to share? And dead silence. Fortunately, someone spoke up, but I kind of figured, I kind of knew that it was going to be people going, I don't want to do this. And of course, it's a natural fear, right? I mean, it's a natural fear. Some people, I had one kid contact me this week. It's just instructor. Okay, well, this is karate fitness. I don't know what the form is that he's doing. I mean, this is the way it is regardless, right? I mean, nobody wants to be that person that goes up to the guy or to the girl that you have maybe a crush on and ask them to the dance, and then they look at you and just laugh. I mean, nobody wants that to happen, right? And so everyone's just kind of in certain social situations, afraid of being involved. And I don't like social situations myself. I just hate that. But as a creator, and this is what I had to talk to them, 3 students did step up, but nobody else wanted to after that. And it's really funny because then they all come up to me after class and say, hey, can I share my idea with you? It's like, no, you should have shared it with the rest of the class. The thing is, if we are going to be creators, if you watching right now are sitting there going, man, I want to do a podcast. Man, I want to do a streaming show on Twitch. I want to go and sit down and play Fortnite or Apex Legends or whatever it may be. You need to create. First of all, if you want to be a creator, you better be making things all the time. If that means you have to do 500 podcasts in a year, do 500 podcasts in a year. That's how you're going to get better, right? The more you practice, the better you're going to become. So in the case of my students, the more scripts they write, the better that they are going to become. And so, how many podcasts do I do a year? Well, let's see. We have shows that run about 50 episodes per year. So Critical Hit, Major Spoilers Podcast, Dueling Review. There's 3 shows right there that do 50 episodes apiece a year. Then we have shows that are bi-weekly. So Legion, Clubhouse, and Top 5. There's another 50 episodes right there. Then we have Finally Friday, which were about 40 episodes, maybe a year, depending on if we're up on things. Then we have the Saturday live streams. So there's some more episodes right there. Let's say another 30 right there. So what are we up to? 310 or something like that. So we release on average about 7 episodes a week. Munchkin Land every week. So there's another 52 episodes a week right there. So we're getting pretty close to 400, 450. 7 times 5. 7 times 5, 350 shows. Yeah, something like that. It's a lot. But you got to keep making, you got to keep doing. And that's how you're going to get better, right? You know, me getting up every Friday and doing extemporaneous speaking with you makes me better. I mean, you guys can go back and look at shows from, 3 years ago or 5 years ago when we were doing this. That's not as good as I think today. But when we create, we have to make. We always have to make. Oh, no, your device will restart to update outside active hours. No, we don't want to restart. I don't know what's up with Windows and does that. Malone says, I've been doing both graphic design and podcast for years. In both, you got to put yourself out there for public scrutiny. And that's the point, right? It's not easy. Because in addition to creating, I could be sitting here and painting, 500. I could literally be doing 2 full paintings a day. Or 2 major art pieces per day. Or I could be sitting around and making 5 short movies per day. Or per year. 10 per year. But if I don't put them out there for people to consume, then it's just masturbation, right? It's just for your own self-glory. And the thing about putting yourself out there, the thing about sharing your creative works, whether they're good or bad, and believe me, when we all start out, we are bad. You might be embarrassed. You might be that person that's asking that boy or that girl out to the dance and she's about to turn you down and laugh at you because you're so bad at going up and asking that guy or girl out for a date. But you got to keep at it, right? And I'm not saying be a pest. I'm not saying being a stalker. But you've got to take your work and you've got to put it out there and online for people to look at and for people to consume. And most importantly, for people to provide feedback on your work. And I think when talking with the students this week, that some of them are afraid. They're just like, yeah, what if someone says it's not good? So what? Maybe they're right. Maybe you need to look at that and look at the criticism that comes with the work that you create. And I think that there's 3 types of criticism that's out there, and I'll probably only get to 2, but there are 3 types of criticism that are out there. The first type of criticism is true constructive criticism. For example, right now, I can expect someone to pop in and say, Stephen, what's going on with your camera? Why does the auto iris keep going up and down? I have no idea. I thought this was fixed. Every time I fire up this computer or open OBS, it feels like I have to do things all over again and reset everything. This is why we had the problem with Ashley a couple of weeks ago. That is constructive criticism. Hey, can you make sure you fix this in the future? Yes, I can do that. That's something simple. That's me saying, oh yes, I've made a mistake or something is not right. Let me correct. So true constructive criticism. Or, hey, make a, whatever it may be. Your game streams would be better if. Your podcast would be better if. Your art would be better if. This video would be better if. Have you thought about doing this? So that's constructive criticism. Then there is the second type of criticism, and that's the destructive criticism, right? This is the criticism that has no bearing or has no merit. You're fat. Why are you on the stream? You're fat and ugly. Does that have any bearing with the quality of the content? Is just a personal attack. Or another type of criticism is, oh, I could do better than that. Yeah, well, why aren't you? Can I see your stream? Can I see your video? Can I see your podcast? Can I listen to it? Show me what you got, right? That Rick and Morty, show me what you got. Those people are never going to respond to you. There's nobody out there that says, oh yeah, I could do better than you, and then not provide a link, right? Because that's all about ego-driven when someone says, I can do better than you. And then you say, okay, show me what you got. And then you never hear from them again. Or, yeah, well, I haven't released my podcast yet, but when I do, it's going to be better than yours. That's not helpful criticism, right? And then there is the third type of criticism. Then there's the third type of criticism. And Mark Maron, I really like the WTF podcast. I don't listen to it all the time because sometimes he's got guests lately that I don't really care for. But then there's the third type of criticism that I and Mark Maron and some other people, including what's his name, Dale Barron, Beran. It Came from Something Awful is the name of his book. And it's the ugly troll army. That's the third type of criticism that you see that pops up whenever you put yourself out there. You know, the people that are like, oh, you're just fat. Or, this sucks, go kill yourself. And the ugly troll army, or the angry troll army, is not there to provide constructive criticism. They're not there to provide destructive criticism. They are just there for the lols, right? LOLZ. I'm just doing it to mess with this person. I'm just putting these words out there because I'm angry at myself for not being able to create or to do whatever. And the problem is, unfortunately, as creators, don't look at the comments. You have to look at the comments. If people tell you don't look at the comments, yeah, that's just a nice way of saying, you know, there's going to be a lot of hate in the comments. And believe me, if you're not receiving negative comments on your content, then there's something wrong. Now, if you're receiving way more negative comments than positive comments, there's probably also something wrong. But if people don't hate you for some reason, then, you know, you're not doing something right. You're always going to piss off somebody. But the problem is, when you put yourself out for public scrutiny and you go and you read the comments, too oftentimes, especially when you're new and you're starting out, someone says, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, go kill yourself. And someone gets very upset about that. The creator gets very upset about that. Oh my God, here's this person that just really hates and it's really mean. And it's like, what am I going to do? How do I respond to something like that? You don't. You don't respond to those people. You don't respond to the angry troll army. You don't respond to the destructive criticism peoples. You respond to the positive criticism, you know, the constructive criticism peoples. The people that are like, hey, I saw you did this and I thought it was good, but I noticed that your exposure was a little off. Or I know that, you know, whatever it may be. Here, Kevin is talking about writing a lot of code, and he puts it out into the public on GitHub. And people rip it apart and tell you how it should be done better, even though it's your version. You're right, it is your version. But now, honestly, Kevin, though, if someone came up and said, oh, this is awful, you should have done, I don't know, you should have done Perl or C++ or whatever. That would have been the smart way to do this. Well, that's somebody's opinion, right? I mean, if you get the same job done with some other code or some other way of doing things. But if someone's saying, hey, you know what would be better is if you used a hook here and you hooked it back around to this substring or this sub JavaScript program or whatever else. Otherwise, this looks good. Just, you know, hey, have you ever thought about that? That would be that constructive criticism stuff. But if someone's just like, oh man, I could code better than you in my sleep. Okay, prove it. Take a nap tonight. Let's see what you come up with in the morning. You're always going to piss someone off? I think you are going to always make somebody angry. No matter what you do, you're going to make somebody angry. I'm old and grouchy and trolls aggravate me, so I'm on a one-man mission to upvote the good and downvote the bad when available. That's fine. I hate the angry troll army. I don't think that they are in a good place mentally. I don't think that they are in a good place physically. I don't think that they are in a good positive space. And because they're not in that good positive space, the echo chamber amplifies those things. And if you're a creative who isn't getting out, if you're a creative who is like, you know what, I'm happy to stay at home all day and just work all day, and you're not out and interacting with people, then that echo chamber also works on you, because all of a sudden you just start seeing negative comments. And those things are going to feed back on you, and you're just going to be sitting there going, oh my God, everybody hates me. Oh, my work is awful. What am I going to do? You have no way of blowing off that steam. You have no way of talking with other people, except maybe online. But even then, there's something missing in the nonverbal connection that you make with someone when you're talking with someone over Skype or face-to-face or something like that. So texting is not always the best way to get out of that echo chamber because of the nonverbals. But yeah, as a creative, you've got to create, you've got to make, you've got to put it out there, and you have to sift through the criticism, good and bad, and decide for you what criticism you're going to listen to and what criticism you're not going to listen to. Malone says, yeah, I'm a big boy, and some troll in internet isn't doing much. I've been in the military to talk about stressful situations. However, that stuff can pile up, and it's very personal how it affects you. I can see that. I'm sure there's a lot of criticism in Taekwondo. When we were getting ready to go to that tournament this weekend, the teacher had to pull the sidekick aside and say, okay, let's see your tournament forms. Let's see what this is. And you know, usually he does really good on his forms. In class and everything. He's already an orange belt, Nate. And he's going to test for green in November. But, you know, afterwards I said, well, how did you do on your forms when he pulled you aside to talk to you? And he's like, well, he said I needed to improve on these 3 areas. I'm like, well, good. Now you know where you need to improve on. It's not being mean to you. And just like I tell the students, when I am telling you here are some issues you need to think about, or here are some areas that I see that are problematic with what you've presented, it's not me hating your piece. It's me trying to make sure you understand these are areas that you can improve to make better. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. If you're going to be a creative, get out there and create and make and do. And you've got to always be making. Always be making. Always be making do, right? Oh, let's do an unboxing today. You can probably... Look at that. Wizards of the Coast sent me a box the other night. Didn't have a chance to open it because I've been busy. Didn't even have a chance to really update the site today because I've been busy. The white balance is off on this stupid camera too. Hopefully you guys thought that was interesting. If not, let me know. I can take some criticism. If you thought, oh man, that was like a hodgepodge of wasted 20 minutes of my life, then just say so. If you liked it, you know, let people know. Get out there and say, hey, you guys missed a great conversation this week on Finally Friday. Why don't you join us next week, 4 o'clock p.m. Central. Oh my God, they sent a bunch of stuff this time. Oh, now I like this game. Have you guys played Dungeon Mayhem? I think that this is a pretty fun little game for you to compete against your friends. They sent me Dungeon Mayhem, the expansion pack, Battle for Baldur's Gate. Usually I think you get, what, 2 character decks per expansion? Let's open this up really quick. D&D Brian and I have played this game a couple of times. Maybe this is only 1 expansion. No? It's 2. That's cool. Yeah. So we get Minsk and Jahira. Is that how you say her name? I don't know. So that'll be fun to play in the future. And by the way, if you're wondering why there hasn't been any Munchkinland show updates beyond what Dan Patras is doing with Geek Jock Blog, it's because of the natural disaster, well, unnatural disaster that we had here at the house. Where we had water get into the basement, into the Nerd Room of Doom, and we had to evacuate that room and and now everything is out into the space where we record shows, so we can't record shows right now. And, you know, we can't put, the room is dry, there's no mold or mildew in there, everything's been taken care of, but we can't put anything back, we can't put the carpet back, and we can't put all the stuff back into that room until we're sure that there aren't going to be no more leaks. And I gotta tell you, if you promise somebody that you're going to do something, you need to do it. Like 2 weeks ago, it was pointed out to us exactly where the water came in by our landscape guy. And he's like, look, they didn't backfill the dirt up against your foundation correctly. And I said, well, is this something that you can fix? He's like, yeah, we can fix that. I said, please do as quickly as you can. And now 2 weeks later, we still haven't done it. Now, again, it's probably because he can't get any dry dirt. We haven't had any rain in a week. But he needs to get out here and backfill that. And as soon as that's backfilled and we get some rain and we know that we're not going to get any water in the basement, then we can put the stuff back in the room. But until then, Justin, what is this? Justin, you work. You need not take it personal and take it and work with it. I think I see what you're coming from. Oh, the name of the game is Dungeon Mayhem. From Wizards of the Coast. Now, obviously, they're not going to put this in a big box. There's a bunch of other stuff, too. How about some Descent into Avernus Dice. Oh, I like dice. Look at these. These are out. Let's see when all this stuff comes out. They sent me some stuff. Let's see. All releasing on September 17th, it says. Descent into Avernus, Dice, and Miscellany. I don't know what Miscellany is. But look at that. The design on the back looks pretty cool. Look at that. I'm down for some of that Miscellany. So some dice. I like dice. Stickers. Always good with the stickers. It's going to fill up my my laptop with some more stickers. Somebody the other day in class was like, oh man, I like all the stickers on your laptop. Well, great. I'm glad that you do. I've got a whole bunch. Wizards of the Coast sent me like a stack of like 10 of them not too long ago. And I think that's everything. And so I'm going to take them to the class and give them to the students who like this stuff. So one of the things that happens every so often is we get the new expansions for the Dungeons and the Dragons 5th edition. And this one is Descent into Avernus, Baldur's Gate. This is the exclusive or the variant cover. And I'm really like the variant cover. Backhoe on the way. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I need. It's like backhoe and then filling it with dirt and then packing it down and making sure the slope is away from the house. So Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. Oh, more ships. That was the thing that happened in the Salt Marsh. So we got ships coming up in this one. What else? Avernus. This is an adventure. Let's see. So here's the regular cover. So when you see this come out next week, no, 2 weeks from now on the 17th, this is the main cover that you're going to see. All right, Nate, you have a great weekend. I'm glad you are safe from the hurricane. I'm glad that it didn't strike you or Alabama or any of the other places. I was trying to see what level of adventure this is. It doesn't say. I thought it was going to say... Usually they say for, players 11 to whatever. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons Adventure for characters levels 1 through 13. For use of the 5th edition Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide. This looks pretty cool. I gotta tell you, it looks pretty cool. Samantha Nelson was talking about this on Wednesday. They sent her this same package. Look at this, the High Hall with the maps. Oh, well, you have a lot of people that want this module? What is it about this module? Is it because it's Baldur's Gate? Is it because we're going back to, is it Eberron? Where do you work at, Kill? Do you work at a bookstore? Or you look at a game store? All right, Marshall. Mars Hole, see you. So what do we got here? This is what the Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus is the newest Dungeons & Dragons adventure book taking players from Baldur's Gate to Avernus. The first layer of the 9 Hells enclosed are 2 copies of the book for you to review, one for the standard illustrated cover by Tyler Jacobson, and the other featuring a distinctive design by Hydro74. You become embroiled in a plot that sprawls from the shadows of Baldur's Gate to the front lines of the plains spanning Blood War. Do players have what it takes to turn infernal war machines and nefarious contracts against the archdevil Zariel and her diabolical hordes? And can they ever hope to find their way home safely when pitted against the infinite evils of the 9 Hells? Nice. September 17th. Be on the lookout for that. Oh, I run games for a living online. Nice. How is that? Are you like a professional dungeon master? You roam from chat room to chat room in your digital wagon, telling stories for people around the world, and then they pay you money to do that? Is that what you do? Because I find that fascinating, to be honest with you. They said Hellfire Engines mechanics, and everyone was into that. I see. That's neat. I mean, you do that. I mean, you don't do anything else except run GM and DM games professionally. I find that fascinating. I mean, like, you are... Oh, yeah, you also write for Major Spoilers. Oh, okay, this is Christopher, isn't it? Okay. I find that if you do that for your full-time job, and that's the only thing that you do, I find that fascinating. And this is one of the things that I was talking to another group of students today about, is that where does your passion and your expertise meet? Where is that crossroads? And I'm not saying you have to go find the crossroads of passion and expertise and go take a jug of whiskey and make a deal with the devil, but where that crossroads of passion and expertise meet, that is where you find, that's where you find joy. That's where you find happiness. That's where you find the money. That's where you find that full-time job that you get to do for the rest of your life. And I'm happy that I get to do Major Spoilers, and I'm happy that we get to do all the podcasts that we do, and I'm happy that I get to sit with you every Friday, or nearly every Friday, at least 40 Fridays a year. And we passed that goal this year, by the way. We have already hit the 40 weeks, so we hit our goal for 2019 on that. But I'm happy that I can do those things because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking with you guys. I enjoy working with you guys. I enjoy having all of you as part of the Major Spoilers community, and I hope we can grow those numbers, quite honestly. I hope we can get some people out there to bang the drums, to tell people to come and check us out, and to do much, much better. 8 games over 40 hours a week. Then I do a podcast and a stream that has sustained me about 2 years so far. That's awesome. That is awesome, Christopher. Why don't you really quickly type out the name of your podcast so that people can go check that out, and then that way I can check it out too. I'm sure you put it in the tag of all your emails that you send me. Now, is it only Dungeons & Dragons? I'm curious. I should have just opened up Skype. I don't even know if Skype is going to work on this system this week, but I should have opened up Skype so you can call. And maybe I'll start opening up Skype again in the future, but I did have a topic that I wanted to talk about this week. Maybe once a month. How about that? How about once a month, at the end of every month, last Friday of the month, I will open up the phone lines and we can do a listener call-in. Okay? And then other times I will have a diatribe about being creative and make and do things. Actually, if you're a patron member, I just posted a podcast pro tip about getting out there and making and doing and being excellent to one another. Wyvern's aria, as opposed to what I was going to say. What is Wyvern Saria? Right, Mars Hole? Anyway, are we at the bottom? We are at the bottom of the hour already. My, how time flies. You know, this used to be an hour-long show. Then we had to cut it to 30 minutes. Depending on the Friday, we could expand this back out to an hour again. But I like keeping it at 30 minutes. A tight 30 minutes where we can have a conversation, where I can present an idea to you guys and gals. And I say you guys, and I use that as the general, like the royal we and the royal you. But I enjoyed this time that we have together, and I hope that we can do this again next week. Next week will definitely have to be 30 minutes because, hold on. That's the only bad thing about doing this from 4 to 4:30 is my wife and my kids suddenly decide that they want to message me about who's picking up what kid and who's going to do what and all that other stuff. So sorry. That's one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing that you can criticize me on this week is, man, you certainly seem distracted by your instant messages. Let me talk about that next week. How distracting it is when you have kids on social media that need to get a hold of you. So go check out Christopher's Wyvern's Aria. Sorry. And we'll talk again next week, and we'll do some cool things next week. Let me just pop over here. Let me see. I can pull this up. Look at this. Pop over to the website. Learn more. Okay. Graphics loaded a little slow. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Cool. Cool. All right, let's wrap that up this week. Thank you guys so much. Fortunately, I will be around tomorrow. Here's the other reason why next fall we won't have to worry about traveling soccer, because the boy is in cross country and is apparently enjoying it. He had his first cross country meet yesterday, finished 29th out of 85, I want to say. So he finished in the upper third. He didn't hit a scoring position. He was 3 places away on his team from the scoring position. But he's got another cross country meet tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, live stream. And I promise you, we will not be playing Yakuza 0. I think, was it J. Michael T. or Marshall that had recommended that I play Yakuza 0? Man, go back and watch that replay from last Saturday. Ooh, that was brutal. I was not kind to that game. But we'll be back tomorrow and we'll do a game again just because of last minute shenanigans. We're not going to be doing Jackbox this month or this week. Maybe. Oh, and next week I definitely won't be around because of soccer. But yeah, we'll get a lot of stuff coming your way. Don't worry. It's Majorspoilers.com. We do so much for you and ask for so little, except for you go check out our social medias and our Patreon page at patreon.com/Majorspoilers. We also ask that you take care, that you be nice to one another, and that you read more comics. Bye, guys. Here's all the cool people. Look at all these awesome people. I gotta update this. There have been a lot more people that have joined and some people that have dropped. Hopefully you enjoyed the show this week, everybody. I know I enjoyed it. I'm gonna open up this container of dice. I was thinking about giving it away on the show, but I like dice. I'm opening this up for myself right now. See, listen. Yep, you too. Have a good weekend. J. Michael T. Oh man, this is a pretty big box. Ah, there we go. It's a nice plastic box too. Kind of have to recycle that. Save the planet, right? So out come the dice. What else do we have in here? What is this? Oh, holy cow, there is a bunch of extra stuff in here. Wow. Neat. Amazing. You guys are going to want to get this when it comes out on the 17th. What is this? There's like 1 million cards in here. Wow. It's like a mini supplement to Volo's Guide to Monsters. That's cool. That is cool, 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 cool. That's where we're ending it. Bye, everybody.